We bought tennis balls, we bought tennis clothes, we bought tennis shoes, and we went out, and 5 minutes into that, she decided she hated it. Hit the ball over the net, and that was it. That was all that we did. That stuff was put away, we never touched the equipment again.
Well, you couldn't, because I destroyed it at some point. I was wondering where that tennis racket I destroyed came from, and now I know.
There should have been 2 of them, because the mother had one too.
I destroyed the
They finally admit it.
The other thing, she always had this dream that we would go dancing. You know, I want to go dancing. I was never much of a dancer, and honestly, Jeaneen was never much of a dancer either. I was working at a bank at the time, and a bunch of the tellers would occasionally go out on a weekend night and go and do something together, and this was the height of disco. Neither one of us had any idea what to do. Okay, so we called my sister to come and give us some lessons. My sister was a great dancer, for all I know she still is. You know, and she came out and, okay, well, I'm going to teach you how to do the hustle. And we struggled, you know, we thought we had it. We went out to the place with all of the people there, and here's all my coworkers, and they're all up doing the hustle and like that. And I said, are you ready to go up? And she says, no, we're not going to do that. And we didn't. And you know, other than the occasional dance at a wedding or something like that, we really never danced at all. It was fine, although I do have to say I did enjoy holding her close a few times that we did. But not every idea that she got in her head turned out to be something that didn't pan out. We'd probably been married 2 or 3 years when she says, you know, when we retire, we should buy a Winnebago and travel the country. And I said, oh, yeah, sure, we should do that. And I never thought that was going to amount to anything. I thought it was just a pie-in-the-sky dream that would never go anywhere, and she really never said it again until we picked a retirement date for me. She says, well, okay, it's time to go out and buy that Winnebago. And I was, why? I didn't what? You know, surprisingly, you know, we did it, and I'm very glad that we did. I enjoyed every place that we went together and every minute we spent together traveling. And 3 years since I retired and before she got sick, we visited more than 40 states. It's easier to name the states we didn't travel to rather than the ones that we did. We did that with 2 big dogs and 2 or 3 birds in our 25-foot camper, and just had a roaring good time doing that. I think I've run out of the stories that I want to tell. I invite any one of you who has something to share to come on up and do the same thing.
Who drove?
I did every mile of the drive. So I saw a lot of interstate highway because Jeaneen didn't want to get off the interstate unless she absolutely had to, like that. Well, she was like this. Sometimes I would have to wake her up to say, look at this vista over here, this is what we're here for. Oh, let me get my camera up, and by the time she got the camera up, we were gone. Anybody else have a story to share? Aaron? Adam?
I have a story.
Why don't you do that?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. My father is a hell of a speaker. I am promising none of that race, poise, or performance. My dad said there's lots of stories to share about Mom, and certainly I have a lot of stories I could share with you too. Most of them would probably involve my mom frowning, scowling, or looking at me with concerned expression.
There was a reason for that.
Of course there was. And the reason, I think, was because I think I'm very much like my mother. And And she realized exactly the kind of child that she had on her hands. Willful, directed, very self-driven, but only in the things that she wanted to do, that I wanted to do. And growing up in her household, where everything was commanded down to her, and you will be this, and you will do this, and her being very dutiful and obedient, I think she was more of a hands-off approach to how I was raised, because while she was an authoritarian, to be sure, she didn't want to put those kind of handcuffs on me and say, you will do this, you will be this, and that's how we proceed. So I owe my mom a huge debt of gratitude for letting me be who I am, do the things that I love to do, find out what I love, and go and explore those things. So I really, really appreciate that. So, and I owe my dad for that as well. Thank you for that. So, the story, of course, that I like to share is from when I was in 4th grade. I have a teacher, a notorious teacher that Sandy can attest to from her own daughter's experience. Her name was Mrs. DeBolt, who had a classroom of 28 students, myself included. I was not a very studious person. I was not very directed in schoolwork, at least in my early career as a student. Come 4th grade, I was probably more a nightmare student than anything. I was only interested in learning the things that I wanted to learn and only doing the things that I wanted to do. I profess I am still that way, but Mrs. DeBolt would wring her hands with grief and send home letter after letter after letter to my parents for them to review and sign and send back, as if that was somehow a shaming that I was supposed to endure. And of course, my parents probably only saw half of those letters. I took care of the other half for them. I didn't want to trouble them. They were working so hard to put on the table in the house. I had the wipe
I saw
out.
an awful lot of letters, so there must have been an incredible.
Weekly, perhaps more than that. But it became clear that the best way to handle me was to have a parent-teacher conference, have both my parents come in, sit down. And my parents have different ideas, of course. And this is back in the day when parents believed the teacher, not necessarily the kid. But my parents always believed that I could do better if I was encouraged to do better. And this woman did not believe that encouragement was the best method of education. But in sitting down in this meeting and having a conversation between Mrs. DeBolt, the principal of my school, and my 2 parents, I was not at this meeting, of course. My mother had said to the teacher, my father had said to the teacher, you know, Adam is very willful and Adam has opinions, you know, and the teacher would say, you know, I've got 28 students that I have to look after, and 27 of them do a great job, and then there's Adam. And my dad, I think, responded, wow, you have the easiest teaching job in the world. 27 kids who say and do what you want them to, and then you only have to worry about one of them. My teacher, well, again, I knew nothing about this meeting, but my teacher the next day, the meeting went fine, nothing really changed. It was towards the end of the school year. My teacher remembered, though, from that experience that my parents had my back, and if they were going to support me and they were not going to support her, that she would perhaps take it out on me. And at that point, I think that's when I became my true self, taking directive of myself. And I let her know that it was not going to go any other way than the way that I was going to have it. I got that confidence from my mother, that I could take control of my own education. I could do the things that I wanted to do, learn the things that I wanted to learn. And if I disagreed with an authority figure, that was fine. I knew the difference between right and wrong. I could choose to apply myself. And from that point forward in my education, I applied myself. I went to college, went to grad school, learned a lot of things that I loved, met some wonderful people, and I think it was my parents who helped me realize once you know yourself, you are given the keys to your own future. So I really owe my mom a lot for that. My dad talked about the cookies. Everybody knows about the cookies. Everybody loves my mom's cookies. And let me tell you, she was the best baker. She was the best cook. She liked to experiment. She liked to make delicious food for her family. It was one of her, I think, primary ways of expressing affection for others. Even if she maybe felt it was a duty to make the cookies every year, she knew that we loved them, and so of course she would make them for us. So, in celebration of my mother, I have actually baked her famous chocolate chip cookies. They're at the back table. Please help yourself. There are more than enough, and I am on the keto diet. I do not need to take them with me. But I've included the recipe for you all so that whenever you feel like you want to remember my mother, you can make them your damn self. To be fair, and my husband Ryan brings up a good point, my mother, the reason why she cursed the process of making cookies is because she did everything by hand. She did not use a KitchenAid mixer. She measured everything with a mechanical scoop, and she stirred it with a wooden spoon. She raised her child to be much smarter than that. And so these are prepared using her recipe with implements from the 20th, actually 19th century, since the discovery of electricity. But those are the great stories I have to share about my mom.
Anybody else have something to share?
Sure. No?
No, I'm afraid not.
And
Go ahead.
Cindy?
Well, Jeaneen was my sister, and at one time, Sandy and I shared a bedroom. There was 7 kids, so, you know. Jeaneen was a slob. She became so